Cliff Dwellings, Secrets of the Anasazi. Deep in the arid desert landscapes of the American Southwest lies a hidden treasure, ancient cliff dwellings carved into the very rocks of towering cliffs. These remarkable structures, built by the Anasazi, a mysterious and once thriving Native American civilization, continue to captivate historians, archaeologists, and visitors from around the world. The Anasazi, known today as the ancestral Puebloans, have left behind a legacy that stretches back over 1,000 years, a legacy that invites questions and exploration. But the question remains, why did the Anasazi choose to build their homes in the cliffs? What secrets do these cliff dwellings hold, and what can they teach us about survival, culture, and the human spirit? The origins of the Anasazi. The Anasazi, whose name means ancient enemies in the Navajo language, were a sophisticated group of people who lived in the southwestern United States, primarily in present-day Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. They first appeared around 1200 BCE and eventually became known for their impressive achievements in agriculture, pottery, and most notably, architecture. The Anasazi were masters of the environment, using the land and natural resources in ways that allowed them to thrive in one of the harshest climates on Earth. At the heart of their civilization was an intricate system of agriculture relying on the seasonal rains and irrigation techniques to cultivate crops such as corn, beans, and squash. Their ability to thrive in such a dry and unforgiving landscape speaks to the ingenuity of their people. The cliff dwellings, architecture beyond imagination. The cliff dwellings of the Anasazi, often nestled high in the cliffside caves, are awe-inspiring examples of architectural brilliance. These homes were carved into the soft sandstone cliffs that line the canyons, such as those found in Mesa Verde, Chaco Canyon, and Canyon de Chelly. Built between the 12th and 13th centuries, these dwellings were not just homes but symbolic structures that reflected the Anasazi's connection to the land, their ancestors, and the cosmos. What makes these cliff dwellings so remarkable is not just their location but the precision with which they were built. The walls were constructed using stone and mortar, expertly fitted to the uneven surfaces of the cliffs. Many of the buildings had multiple stories, with ladders and stone steps connecting the different levels. The dwellings were often made up of kivas, which were round ceremonial rooms that played a central role in the spiritual and social life of the community. These kivas, with their unique circular shape and underground positioning, were sacred spaces for ritual, reflection, and community decision-making. The strategic location of the cliff dwellings also offered a natural defense against enemy attacks. The Anasazi were adept at using their environment to protect themselves, and living high up in the cliffs made it nearly impossible for invaders to reach them. It was a survival tactic that kept the Anasazi safe for generations, but it also speaks to their profound understanding of their environment and the necessity of adaptation. The secrets of the cliff dwellings. The cliff dwellings hold more than just architectural wonders. They are rich with secrets, offering glimpses into the lives of the Anasazi and their culture. One of the most intriguing aspects of the cliff dwellings is the presence of ancient symbols and petroglyphs which adorn the walls of many caves. These petroglyphs, thought to have been created by the Anasazi, depict animals, humans, and abstract symbols that may have had spiritual or ceremonial significance. Some believe these carvings were part of religious rituals, while others suggest they were used as a form of communication or record-keeping. In addition to the symbols, many of the cliff dwellings contain hidden chambers and secret passageways. Some archaeologists have speculated that these areas were used for ceremonial purposes, while others believe they were meant to conceal valuable goods or serve as refuges during times of conflict. Whatever their purpose, these hidden spaces add a layer of mystery to the already enigmatic nature of the Anasazi. The Anasazi also left behind a wealth of artifacts that reveal much about their daily life. Pottery shards, tools, and even ancient food remains offer clues about their practices and traditions. The pottery, often adorned with intricate geometric patterns, served both practical and artistic purposes. It was used to store food and water, but it also played a role in ritual and communication. The artifacts found in the cliff dwellings paint a picture of a people deeply connected to their land, their history, and each other. The fall of the Anasazi. Despite their impressive achievements, the Anasazi civilization eventually came to an end. Around the late 13th century, the people who had once thrived in these cliff dwellings mysteriously disappeared. The reasons for this decline are still debated among scholars, but it is generally believed that a combination of factors led to their abandonment of the cliff dwellings. Some theorists suggest that a prolonged drought, which lasted for several decades, may have disrupted the Anasazi's agricultural system and made it difficult for them to sustain their communities. Others believe that social or political unrest or even conflict with neighboring tribes may have contributed to the downfall of the Anasazi. It is also possible that the Anasazi simply outgrew the resources of their land and were forced to migrate to other areas in search of food and water. Whatever the cause, the decline of the Anasazi remains a mystery, and their disappearance from the cliff dwellings they had so carefully constructed adds to the intrigue surrounding this ancient civilization. The legacy of the Anasazi. Although the Anasazi vanished from the cliff dwellings centuries ago, their legacy lives on. Today, their ruins are preserved as national parks and UNESCO World Heritage Sites, attracting visitors from around the world who seek to unravel the mysteries of this lost civilization. The Anasazi's architectural achievements, their deep understanding of the land, and their spiritual and cultural practices continue to inspire awe and wonder. The secrets of the cliff dwellings offer more than just a glimpse into the past. They are a testament to the resilience, creativity, and wisdom of the Anasazi people. As we stand in the shadow of these ancient ruins, we are reminded of the power of human ingenuity and the enduring spirit of those who came before us. Their story is not just one of survival, but of thriving in harmony with the natural world, a lesson that continues to resonate in our modern world. In a time when we face our own challenges and uncertainties, the Anasazi's ability to adapt, innovate, and live in balance with their environment serves as an enduring reminder of the power of human potential. Conclusion: a lesson in resilience and connection. The cliff dwellings of the Anasazi are not just remnants of a bygone era, they are symbols of resilience, adaptability, and connection. They teach us that the built environment can reflect the spiritual, cultural, and practical needs of a community. They remind us that even in the most difficult circumstances, there is always room for creativity, wisdom, and strength. The Anasazi were not just builders of stone, they were creators of culture, caretakers of the land, and guardians of ancient knowledge. And as we continue to explore their secrets, we are invited to reflect on our own relationship with the world around us and the ways in which we can learn from the past to shape a better future. As we gaze upon the ruins of the Anasazi cliff dwellings, we are reminded that the mysteries of the past hold valuable lessons for the present, lessons about resilience, sustainability, and the power of human creativity. The modern relevance of Anasazi's wisdom. As we explore the mysteries of the Anasazi, their cliff dwellings, and their cultural artifacts, we begin to see their influence extending beyond history. The Anasazi, despite their disappearance, continue to offer wisdom that is deeply relevant to the world we live in today. Their ability to create sustainable living spaces in harsh environments speaks volumes about their understanding of the environment. In an era where environmental concerns are growing, the Anasazi's knowledge of water management, agriculture, and building practices can provide valuable lessons. The way they adapted their homes to the landscape using natural materials could inspire modern sustainable building techniques. The same principles of environmental harmony that guided the Anasazi's way of life might be the key to solving some of our most pressing ecological challenges today. Additionally, the Anasazi's deep spiritual connection to their surroundings teaches us about the importance of a mindful relationship with the world. Their sacred sites, like the kivas used for ceremonies, underscore the significance of reflection, inner peace, and a connection to something larger than ourselves. As modern society often moves too quickly and gets caught in the hustle of everyday life, we could benefit from slowing down and finding the time for introspection, just as the Anasazi did in their spiritual spaces. The Anasazi and the concept of impermanence. One of the most compelling aspects of the Anasazi's story is the idea of impermanence. The cliff dwellings, though magnificent, were only temporary. The Anasazi did not build grand monuments meant to stand for eternity, but instead created homes that blended with the natural environment. They understood that everything, even their civilization, was transient. This understanding of impermanence is a key teaching in Buddhism, which emphasizes that all things are in a state of constant change. The Anasazi's ability to adapt to this ever-changing world and their recognition of the temporary nature of all things is a lesson that resonates deeply in today's world. Just as their civilization left behind traces of their existence, so too will our own civilizations. The lesson here is not to cling to material achievements, but to focus on building meaningful connections, to live with awareness, and to appreciate the present moment, much like the Anasazi did. Reclaiming the spirit of the Anasazi. Though the Anasazi have long since vanished from the canyon walls they once inhabited, their legacy lives on in the landscape they shaped and the culture they left behind. In the face of modern challenges, from environmental destruction to social upheaval, the spirit of the Anasazi is one of adaptability, wisdom, and resilience. The Anasazi story offers us a deep well of inspiration. It reminds us that we are part of a much